Now let's get to some of your thoughts on our big story last night, looking at ways the local government handling the homeless crisis. We had two stories, one from Multnomah County, a report on a data system that the Joint Office of Homeless Services is just now getting control of 8 years after the office was formed. And then Washington County, where the system that they built from the ground up is showing some early success. And then as a bonus, we went to Houston, Texas, where advocates say a housing first model operating for the last 12 years or so is getting thousands of people off the streets. Well, the issue that got most of you fired up has to do with the budget for Multnomah County's Joint Office of Homeless Services. If a budget similar to last year's is approved for this coming fiscal year, that will put the total of taxpayer dollars funneled into that office at over $1 billion in about 9 years. A viewer, GY, wrote to us, "I wish you would stop making my blood pressure go off the charts. How the heck can you spend $1 billion and have nothing to show for it? One would think $1 billion would be enough to figure things out and get a solution moving. Gosh, what a waste of dollars when police, fire, and schools all show mega deficits."
$1 billion over 10 years? What have they been doing with the money? Paying people salaries so that people with homes can pay their mortgages while they go wander the streets looking for somebody to help? Build them homes. SROs, a room with a lock and a bathroom down the hall. Don't give them outreach and services and blah, blah, blah. They're homeless. They need a home. You can't build 10,000, 60,000 homeless people a home with $1 billion?
All right, thanks for that call. Strong emotions there. And then when it comes to the housing first or services first question, we heard from both sides. A self-identified landlord and story viewer named Steve, referencing the housing first model in Houston, Texas, wrote in to say, "The Houston idea is really stupid. You show me one homeless camp on the streets that is clean and isn't full of garbage, junk, and trash and drugs. Once again, they're trying to dump it all on the landlords and make them fix their problems." But not everyone agrees.
Of course, housing first. I mean, it's absolutely essential. You can't get mental health or a drug addiction problem or anything like that dealt with if you're still going back out onto the street. It just is insane. Look, when I was homeless over 20 years ago, I didn't have a drug addiction problem. I didn't have a mental health problem. But I saw a lot of people who did, and I knew that they weren't going to make it without getting into housing first.
All right, thanks for all your comments.